Hey guys, so I've got something fun for you today. I did the ballpoint pen challenge. So as you can see, I used a black Bic ballpoint pen. I only used one for the whole piece, amazingly enough, and just a regular piece of computer paper. So yeah, so I even did my sketching with ballpoint pen. I used the same pen for the entire process, and it was interesting. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. It was a little tedious. I'm used to using watercolor, so that's a lot faster with regards to covering large spaces than pen. So with the pen, there was a lot of layering involved, but still pretty happy with it. So yeah. So about the actual drawing, as you can see by the title, I did some Orphan Black fan art. This is a drawing I've been meaning to do for a while. It's been in my sketchbook. And I was originally going to do a watercolor piece for it. Never did. And then when it came time to do the ballpoint pen challenge, I was like, okay, I need to think of a subject matter. And I had the sketch sitting in that I'd want to do for a while, and I figured it would look good in pen, so I did it. And it turned out pretty good. So yeah, for those of you who have not watched Orphan Black or are not completely caught up, I drew a new character who was introduced in Season 4, named MK, and she is first introduced wearing this creepy-looking sheep mask. It's in all the promos and everything, and it was just really cool, and I wound up doing the sketch before the season even aired, just because I thought the whole sheep mask thing was really creepy and interesting, so yeah. And then I wound up really liking the character as well, so it was pretty fun doing this. I was a little distracted while working on this piece because I was on Skype at the time with my friends and my girlfriend, which was fun. They're both behind on the show, unfortunately. I keep getting onto them to catch up, but you know, eventually they will, I guess. I'm completely caught up. There's actually a new episode airing tomorrow. I'm recording this on a Wednesday, by the way. So yeah, so I guess I'll talk about the show a little bit. Orphan Black is probably my favorite show on TV right now. Like, my top 2 shows are Orphan Black and The Walking Dead. They're just, I never miss an episode. I'm pretty obsessed. But I think Orphan Black has to be my favorite show on TV right now. I've always been a huge fan of science fiction. The X-Files was my favorite show growing up when I was a kid. And I don't know if they're going for it or not, but I'm getting a lot of similar vibes from this show. Not with regards to, like, the whole alien thing, because they're not doing that, but they're definitely going with the whole conspiracy route, which is really cool. And I don't know, it's just a really good show, and the acting is absolutely phenomenal. Tatiana Maslany, who plays several characters, more than several, is just really good. And all of the supporting cast too. It's such a fun show. It's got its funny moments, it's got its serious moments. I was talking to my friends describing a recent episode that aired that, you know, it'll start off an episode with some comedy moments that, you know, make you really laugh, and then it ends the episode with like a punch to the face. So, you know, you get a whole gamut of emotions watching this show, and it's so good. Great female characters, great queer characters. It's just, it's such a good show. I love it so much. So, yeah, and I've done fan art for Orphan Black before. A few years back, I think, right around the end of Season 1. I did a whole bunch of black and white drawings in Photoshop of some of the various characters. And I think it's a series I'd like to revisit, but I'd probably do it in watercolor. I have some ideas, but it's kind of a large project, so I'm going to wait a little bit, I think, until I'm a little more confident in my watercolor abilities. Because, yeah, I'm still a bit of a noob, but still. So yeah, this was a real fun piece to do, and as you can see with the really dark places, it's just a lot of layering, is all it was. I think it was a good 4 or 5 layers for the darkest section. And I wasn't even pressing down the hardest either, because that would destroy my wrist, so I didn't want to do that. But still, like, I got some good values out of it, and amazingly enough, did not kill that pen. There's still ink left. I'm still using it just to write. And the pen wasn't even new when I started drawing. I had been using it to write in my notebook and do sketches in my prompts book a little bit, just to kind of get a feel for drawing with it. And yeah, so the pen I got at Walmart. I bought a box of 24 of them for like $4 and change, and now I have 23 pens that are not being immediately used. So yeah, I'm not gonna run out of pens for a while, although I am giving some to my friends and Alicia, because I showed them the picture and told them I had a whole bunch of pens lying around, and Alicia asked me to give her some, so take them. I'm not using them, take them. So yeah, my only complaint about this picture is some of the shapes are a little off. The actual sheep mask is a little rounder, but I did my sketch in pen, so I couldn't erase it or anything. So, you know, for what it is, I think it turned out pretty good. And I really liked doing like a challenge using a medium that I'm not used to using all that much. At least right now, anyway. I did a lot of pen drawings in high school, because when you're in high school, you don't really have a whole lot of like really high quality art products. It's very rare anyway. So I would do sketches and drawings in pen on whatever I had, lined paper, back of worksheets, all kinds of stuff. And I remember getting yelled at by my peers because I used to draw on lined paper all the time. And I was in this club. I was in 2 clubs actually, but one of the clubs I was in was called the Poet Society. And I wrote a little bit, but I wasn't that good at it. Mostly what I did is I drew pictures that would get put into the little zine that the Poet Society put out every quarter. And I always did them on lined paper, and I always got yelled at by my friends for doing that, but that's all I had. So eventually what I did is I had a folder in my backpack. I kept a stack of computer paper, and then I would have like a couple of really cheap mechanical pencils, a ballpoint pen, and then eventually this really cheap set of like 8 colored pencils that was in my Christmas stocking one year. Carry those around, and then I would doodle and draw on the computer paper randomly throughout the day. Usually like when I was taking notes, and I was a quick writer, so I'd catch up before the teacher moved on to the next slide, and I'd do a little bit of doodling and then continue. So pen work on computer paper is something that I used to do a lot, but that was like 10 years ago. Yeah, high school was a while ago. Which is weird to think about. I have my 10-year high school reunion later in November, which is going to be interesting, because it doesn't feel like 10 years, but at the same time it does. I don't know. I've been feeling older lately. I don't really want to get into that, but anyway. So this is about finished. This was just a fun little challenge. I'm not going to sell this or anything. It was just a quick little drawing. I took maybe an hour and a half to do this total, and that was with being distracted on Skype. But it was fun to experiment with, and I definitely plan to do more cheap art supply challenges in the future. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out my social media. And if you haven't watched Orphan Black yet, I highly recommend it. It's on BBC America. It is so worth the watch. You will love it. So yeah, so that does it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. This weekend. And after that, I'm going to have a couple of fun things planned up. I don't know all of them yet, because my girlfriend and I are going to be house sitting for a week. My best friend John is... I got bored and wound up designing a business card. So, yeah, it can't really show up that well. But I just did a basic thing. I used lion for the back. And on the front, I did my logo from YouTube and, you know, social media stuff.